All right, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another edition of SWAC Smoke. We are back on Thursday, live as usual. Got DJ over here, got C Wells over here, and we're gonna just talk about a little of this, little of that. Man, it's been a wild SWAC week, so we're gonna cover some different topics and you know how we do. So what's going on, DJ? How you doing today?
I'm doing all right, man. Just trying to keep tabs on everything going on. Of course, like you said, Grambling has been a hot topic since the what's up, Los J? They've been a hot topic starting with the I don't know which came first, the spring game or the volleyball situation, but I mean I kick it off about the spring game. I checked in on it, a little bit of it. I think it looked like a spring game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people complaining about it and people just want to have something to say anyway in these groups. But I think it was a spring game. I mean, you practice against the same people. It ain't like they don't know the plays. But I kind of think that it's gonna take Hugh Jackson a little bit to get them where he want them. You know, it ain't just gonna be a super quick turnaround. So I mean, I saw what I expected to see.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's a spring game. It's an all new staff. What's up, Los J? What's happening? Like I said, it's an all new staff, new offense. You know, defense always gonna be ahead of the offense, pretty much like the comments say. So it's not. Oh, what's up, Big Thriller? What's happening? Um, Welcome. So it's it's not a lot to take from it, man. I don't know why anybody would have expected this crazy offensive explosion when you've only had 15 practices to work in a new offense, and it, if you I feel like if you put up like crazy numbers on offense, that means your defense is not that good. So Gramblin's defense was pretty solid last year, so I wouldn't expect for them to just get ran over. So it's kind of what it was, It's just an opportunity to see the team in action, no more, no less. So I thought it was, a good outing for them. Over 5,000 people at the game. Great atmosphere. It was broadcast over the internet. So um, I thought it was a good outing, but I did hear that Elijah Walker, the starting quarterback, who started most of the season, is entering the portal. I heard that yesterday or today, so they're gonna be down one quarterback already. So that's an interesting thing right there.
I don't. No disrespect. I just don't think they losing much out of their quarterback room. It is what it is on that. Somebody got to go. You know, that's just part
Yeah, I
of
mean,
it. But it.
I I feel like
But
it's an all new staff, so everything's open. Like the offense was not great last year, and you need somebody to kind of start it up. So I like you say, it's not a big loss, and at some point somebody was probably going to leave anyway. So I guess it's best to get that out the way now,
right.
and that's the thing. And like this comment said, he was more of an athlete. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was one of those typical, guys with a big arm, but not a lot else. I mean, he was a great runner, but he didn't really lend that much to the efficiency of the offense. So, if they can improve, without him, then I think it's better. So, I it's not a crazy loss, but I just wanted to throw that out there.
Right. And I'll leave that particular thing on this note. I mean, I rather kind of like you said, I'd rather see my defense ahead of my offense in the spring. It's a bad sign when your defense know what's coming and they can't stop it. That's bad. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. So I think that's a good sign. I mean, it's kind of hard to have both of them great when you literally working on this stuff every day in practice.
Yeah, and I'm like, like you said, I'd rather my defense make plays because they know what's coming, and my offense, can adjust. I feel like your offense can get better as the season goes on. I feel like it's hard for a defense to get better as the season goes on. Um, if anybody was at Southern Fan Day scrimmage last year, the offense multiple 75-yard bombs, receivers open. We was looking at, man, the quarterback's throwing the ball all around the field, not looking at, man, the secondary getting torched.
Yeah.
which is what was what happened during the season. The secondary got torched, and the offense didn't move the ball that well through the air. So I would rather my defense come out, play stout, make some plays, the offense get a touchdown or two, show some flashes, and then you go home and get ready for the season. So I thought it was, I figure most spring games gonna be like that unless you do some crazy thing where you change the scoring so you make the scoring get higher. But I think that is what it is.
Yeah, we living in a world now where everybody expecting a ton of points. They don't watch football no more. They watching for points. I think that's the difference. I'm not saying everybody is like that, but you got a lot of people like that now. They just want to see points and they don't want to see no defense. That's not football to them, but in actuality, it is football. It's gonna be some stalemate sometime. That's what you want.
Yeah, I mean you want a to me you want a 17-14 type of game, 21-17. 28-21 is a nice game. That's 4 touchdowns by one offense. That's 7 total touchdowns. That's a pretty back and forth game. But a lot of people like those 38-35 type of games. But then them same people after the game will fuss about the defense not making no stops. So you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
You can't want a gang of points and not expect your defense to give up points because they own the field so much. So offense, is what's interesting, but defense keeps it going. So I I don't have a problem with it, man. I like a good defensive game, so I'm right there with you.
Well, we can go ahead and shout out to the pivot for showing up too. I think that was big for Gremlin to have them guys on campus, and for old Channing Crowder who always seemed to throw some shade at HBCUs. So he finally started admitting he see why people are so big on supporting them. So shout out to Gremlin for showing him a good time as well, good turnout, good atmosphere.
Yeah, I think as an event as a whole, I thought Grambling did a great job of promoting this thing for weeks and just making it be the place to be. I mean, Grambling not the easiest place to get to. It's not in a big area, so
Yeah, ain't
to get
nothing there.
5,000 people out at a paid event because they charge at their game to get 5,000 people out at a paid event, a spring game, which HBCU spring games don't typically draw like that. I thought that was great. So atmosphere tremendous. I think hopefully they laid a blueprint for what everybody else should do. I know there's Southern doing more weekly events this week leading up to their game, so I think people trying to follow suit. So I think that's a good thing. Might even get some season ticket sales out of this.
Might do it. We can move on to Miss Chelsea Lucas. Uh, we hated to lose her in Pine Bluff, but her alma mater job came open, and I can understand her going back. But she got a lot of folks hot, a lot of
Oh
folks upset.
yes, indeed, man. So she came through, and basically, as most people know, the whole team got ran. So they had tryouts
Yeah,
yesterday,
today I
and
think April 7th.
a lot of people felt like they were open trials, anybody could come. They didn't. A lot of people felt like maybe the team should have been the first one to get the chance. But I also, and this is secondhand stuff, but I heard that there was some kind of allegations against a coach by one of the volleyball players, and this was the way the school decided to handle the whole situation. I don't know if I don't want to get too deep into that kind of stuff, but um, it was a surprising move, but coach want to run a program. I know a lot of kids are kind of stuck out, especially like freshmen coming in. They're not honoring any walk-ons, anything. So I think it's kind of tough for the players for sure.
Yeah, the bright side of it is this: if they did have tryouts, like some folks say, if you're a dog and you can play, go to trial, get your scholarship right back. If you can play, you can play. So I mean, on one hand, you look at it, it's being messed up. On the other hand, you have to, as an athlete, you're always told control what you can control. Adversity gonna come. So the only thing you can control is your effort. Go to tryouts and try it again and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, like I agree. it don't really do you no good to spend, days and days, complaining about it or whatever. If you can maybe, like you say, go in there and work and show your skill and get your spot back. I mean, it's a different thing. It's one of those things that I think caught a lot of people off guard, and that's why it really blew up the way it did. It's like you hear about players leaving when they get a new coach, guys hitting the portal, new coach, but you don't hear about a whole team getting let go. Maybe a couple people. So it was kind of surprising, but like you said, if they get the opportunity, man, you go and you show what you got. So it's a double edged sword type of thing. But it was just a topic that I thought that a lot of people were really talking about. And when things blow up on social media, you get different sides arguing back and forth, and the loudest voices sometimes are the ones that sway the argument. So I've been kind of mainly sitting back and observing it. It's been really crazy on Twitter for sure about it. So I've been kind of sitting there doing it. And yeah, Dion, when Coach Prime came in, he let go a gang of dudes. Not a lot of people talked about that, but they did let go a gang of guys. So I think it's the numbers that makes it look really bad.
Yeah,
You know,
volleyball.
a
He did the
volleyball
whole
team is like
team. You can't do a whole
19
team in
people.
football.
Yeah. So if you let 15 out of 19 go or whatever, that looks crazy. If you run 40 or 85 or whatever, then it don't look as bad. But I mean, it happens. Coaches run players all the time. I will say that. LSU lost their whole basketball team to the portal when they got their new coach. So it happens. It's just I think a lot of people just just were surprised, and for it to be volleyball at that kind of I think would really kind of amped it up.
I think um, one thing I do, if there is a silver lining in it, is she let everybody go. So shouldn't any player feel like it was personal? Everybody got cut. So I can see if she came in and she cut me and you, but she left the other 17. Then yeah, we might feel something personal behind that, but she cut everybody. So it's nothing personal. So I probably would go to trial and try to get my scholarship back. Now, if she just came and just cut me without seeing me play, without knowing who I am, then I might take that personal. So I don't think it was personal. I just think that's just the way they chose to do it. The AD, he spoke and he backed her up. So it is what it is.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's just one of those things that the optics don't look great. It's one of those things that you look at it like, man, that's bad. Everybody jumps on one side, and the situation kind of gets bigger than probably what it should be. I mean, we we talking volleyball in the springtime. The season not
Yeah.
till the fall, so it's like you drawing more attention to something. But like you said, it's not a this person or that person situation. And if you really want to be there and you really want to work, then you gonna go and do what you do. If not, you're gonna either stay at school or you're gonna hit the portal. So it's I mean the options are there, and it's plenty of time for kids to do whatever. It's just kind of hard for a younger kid coming in that might have had lost the spot. But that's crazy thing happen in college sports. So you kind of have to take it all at once.
The question is, how can she bounce back from that? Because I mean, it's immense pressure on her. It could be more pressure on her cutting an entire team and coming back trying to build on that. You know what I'm saying? Where you gonna get your players from? All of that, and then she come back and don't do nothing this season. Then it's gonna really look bad on her. So I mean, just as much pressure on the students to try to find somewhere to play. She got to find players too. That ain't gonna
Oh
be no
yeah,
easy thing.
she got to put together a damn good team.
Yeah.
Coming off of this, like you said, the pressure is high now. You know,
Mm-hmm.
before you would have came in, first year, most coaches get, you get a pass your first year. You working with other coaches, players, or whatever. Now you're doing this. You're starting from scratch. You picking who you want. Then
Right.
yes, the pressure is on. So a lot of people are now more aware of the program than probably was before. so there's extra eyes, and people who don't keep tabs on this kind of stuff are looking now, and people are gonna pay attention to that kind of stuff for a while. So yeah, the pressure is gonna be on. She got to put together a really, really good team now coming off of this for sure.
We'll find out. I'll probably be paying more attention for sure. There's gonna be a lot of eyes on that program come fall, so we'll be covering a little bit of that for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean now we talking volleyball.
Yeah,
that this is something that probably would never come up. No offense, no slight to
yeah.
anybody that like volleyball, but that's one of those sports that kind of fall through the cracks. And here we are in the middle of spring talking about Grambling volleyball. So I think everybody gonna at least keep a eye on it, and I know I will too. So we'll see what happens.
Speaking of JSU, I don't know if you saw Corey Reed. He said it's about to be a comeback of a lifetime or something like that. Have you heard anything about him coming back and why he set out this season?
No, I hadn't heard anything. I was honestly surprised, that he didn't play coming off of the season he had during the
Yeah,
springtime. But if he coming back, man, that's a crowded room. It's a lot.
yeah.
They got a lot of bodies down now. So I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't know. So I had to keep my eyes on that one. I had to look at that one because I hadn't really heard anything about that.
Jamie G, you know anything on Corey Reed? Let's
Let's
see
see
if
what he
he.
say.
But yeah, I was definitely shocked, and nobody really said much about it. But with Malachi Wyman coming back, uh, I really, honestly, they lost who they just lost Corbin.
Yeah, they lost Corbin and Newman
And
basically.
Lanier, Josh
Yeah,
Lanier.
yeah, Corbin, Lanier, and
Hmm.
Newman.
So I mean, it's room for him. James G had a lot of commentary. Corey had bad grade issues. Okay.
All right, but that pretty much sums it up. Then if it's a grades thing,
Yeah.
I wish him the best. I hope he got it worked out. But
Yeah.
that receiver room is crowded, man. They brought in Kevin Coleman, young prospect. They got guys, Javante Rucker, who started off the season really
Yeah.
hot. I mean, he was solid most of the year as a young guy, but they loaded at their spot. So if he borderline, then he better bring his work boots, man, and he definitely gonna have to show and prove because that receiver room is loaded for sure.
I think he'll play. I think they do a good job of playing and getting the ball to different targets. I don't think one guy got a ton more targets than anybody else over the course of their season. And they use guys in certain situations. So right now, I think he'll be all right. I think he'll rise to at least middle of the pack, if not the top.
Yeah, I mean, with the kind of offense they play, everybody, like you said, everybody get targets. Everybody gonna get their yards. Everybody gonna get their TDs. It's not like a Southern offense used to be. You have one receiver with 600, 700 yards. Everybody else with like 2 or 3. You're one guy with 10 touchdowns. Everybody else with 3.
Yeah.
You're gonna get your looks. So it's up to you to take advantage of those. So if he feels like he gonna come on strong, then I'm definitely gonna keep my eyes out on that for sure because you know you always want to see a guy bounce back regardless. If he didn't do what he needed to do and now he's doing it, then yeah, you want to see him get another opportunity.
So, haven't heard anything about. You got anything for?
Uh, yesterday was Southern's Pro Day. I don't know if you heard anything about it,
Oh yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I think Tyree Carter, man, I think he really made himself some money this week, man. I mean, he's had a really good off season. He's been, he did well at the combine, and he put up some really good numbers as a bigger guy, man. He ran a 5.501 40, 34-inch vert, 9.93 broad jump. and a lot of people really raving about him, man. Good kid, did not allow a sack all year at left tackle, and I think he giving himself a good opportunity to get paid, man.
Yeah, I heard pretty good things, or I read good things anyway about him. I saw that a linebacker that set out this past year had the best day out of everybody.
Yeah, that was Caleb Carter. He was
Yeah.
the second leading tackler on the 2019 team. I'm looking at the numbers that Southern put up. He ran a 4.5,
Mm-hmm.
40, 33-inch vert, 10.2 broad jump. He's a guy got good instincts. He played really well. As linebacker, I was really surprised he decided not to come back. He graduated, but he decided not to play in the fall. So well in the spring, and then obviously didn't play in the fall. So he's a good player, man. I think he gave himself an opportunity. He tested well, and those are the kind of guys I think that you really look for at a pro day. A guy who maybe come from out of nowhere, so to speak, and get themselves a good opportunity.
Was he? Who was number one?
That was him. No, no,
That was
no. That
him. Was
was number one. No, I think number one was. Oh, I can't think of it.
yeah, it was
I
another
think of his
kid, I
name.
think.
Calvin Lunkins. I think that was number one.
Yeah, he was pretty good too. Wow, man. Let's see. Oh yeah, they. I forgot about them guys that transferred into JSU.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. The room is loaded, so it is.
Jeez.
One more guy added to that. That's just crazy. But another name that popped up, Marquis Mclean. He had a pretty good day.
Oh
Four
yeah.
five nine, 40 39-inch vert, 10 foot broad jump. He's a guy that's been working really hard this offseason. His name been making the rounds. He's been interviewing well, and he's had a great day. Um, Other than that, not a lot of other guys really did too well. I don't really want to, you know,
Yeah.
be down anybody, but everybody kind of did what they could.
Yeah. I saw the rest of the numbers. If not from that, from the HBCU combine. So yeah, I guess some people didn't even improve upon those numbers from then till now.
Yeah, so it's all about what you make of your opportunity. So
Yeah.
hopefully, there's not much time left, but if you can give yourself a camp opportunity if you kind of improve your status a little bit.
Yeah, I think it comes down to some some coaches, some scouts or whatever, some people, I say, like myself, understand a good football player when I see him. Not everybody is a what we used to call them shorts and t-shirt all American. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everybody don't test well, but you turn on that tape, them boys are dogs on that field. And sometimes you got to take a chance on a good football player.
yeah. I
Point
mean,
blank period.
we call them workout warriors. So it that guy that looks great, first guy off the bus. The first guy on the field may not always be the best player. So you really need to, like you say, let the film speak for itself sometimes. And hopefully, some of these guys who are great players but don't work out well or had a bad day, their film can speak for them. So there's more than one way to make it. Just putting up great numbers is not what gets you there. Like in the case of Tyree Carter, his combine numbers only amplify what he did on the field. So that's the best of both worlds. So if you can, I feel like if you can show it on the field, that will sometimes outweigh a bad pro day or a bad workout. So it's all about the tape, honestly. At the end of the day, because you're playing football, you're not running 40s all game. So you have to be able to play. So
Right. And how good was this kid that Los J's talking about? I know I saw him at the HBC Legacy Bowl. You think
he,
he is draftable?
I think so. Maybe a guy that you take a late round look at. He was a really disruptive guy on the defensive line at TSU for the last couple of years. TSU defense didn't really get a lot of attention. They didn't play great all the time. I know I was one person who was really hard on TSU defense, but individually they had a lot of good pieces, and he was a guy who been a starter for the last couple of years, and he got a good body size. I think he transferred from SMU, I believe. So he's a FBS type of guy. Got great size, man. I think he's gonna at least give himself a chance. These are guys that I wish they got more attention during the season. But playing for somebody like TSU, a lot of people don't really pay attention to them. But he was a very disruptive guy on that defensive line. I liked him a lot. So hopefully he can get an opportunity. His name been ringing bells.
I know he had a huge support system at the game too, so uh, that's always good. So he probably does well interviewing and all that stuff too. So hopefully he was prepared.
Yeah, and he been doing a good a good job with making his rounds. Kind of on the YouTube circuit this last week too. So he putting his name out there, and he doing he taking advantage of the opportunity as best as he can. So I definitely hope he can find some success in that area, getting his name called on draft day.
I I looked up Marquis Bell because not a lot of people talking about his combine, but he actually ran 4.41, which is pretty good. But they say that he need to get better with his hip flexibility and things like that, which I think he can work on. I think somebody gives him a chance.
Yeah, I mean he got good size. He's not scared to get physical. Like you say, the speed is there. He can take the lead in a secondary and run it. So I mean, you have to take a chance on a guy like that. He gonna do everything you ask him to do. He played safety and corner at FAMU. I think he's more of a safety, but you can use him at that spot in the pinch. But I think he's another guy who's definitely gonna be drafted. So I'm glad he had a good pro day for sure.
Speaking of all this is one question I had on my list. What give me a single player and give me a team. But who are you looking forward to watching the most this fall? Give me your single player and then give me your team. You
Um,
look forward to the most.
besides my team,
Yeah, besides your team.
because I could go with that all day. Um, I'm honestly interested in Grambling as a team. Just because they're bringing in a lot of attention. They got some guys that transferred in on the offensive side of the ball that can make some plays. So I want to see how that team runs. You know, through all the hype, can they handle the hype that's coming at them? I want to see can they live up to it. Um, a single player, I would honestly say, um, whoever runs out at quarterback at Prairie View, because I think that they are a team who still has a lot of talent. I think their offense still has some pieces, and if they find the right general of that team, the offense and the team can stay in the hunt. If they struggle at that position, then I think they're going to fall down in the middle of the pack. So I would go with whoever wins that job.
All right. My player that I'm looking forward to see if they improve even more is Andrew Body. I'm really looking forward to watching him play this fall. And my team is Mississippi Valley. I want to see if Dancy can continue to build on what he already has, and with a few recruits he done got in, I want to know if they can get a little bit better and win a couple of more games this year. I just want to see improvement out of them.
Yeah, those are actually two really good choices. And I started to go with Andrew Body, but I was like, we kind of know where he is, but like you said, you want to see if he take the next step.
Yeah.
For me, it was just I'm always cautious of a team that's trying to break in somebody and you don't know who they're gonna play. Maybe they hit somebody in the portal, but that's always a huge question mark to me. But Valley, obviously Coach Dancy been doing some things there. Can they take that step to go from that team that you got to be like, oh man, got to look out for Valley, to a team that you got to make sure that you bring your A game against every week. If they could take that step and win a couple more games, 4 to 6 games, then they will climb the ladder. But they lost some big pieces on defense, so it's gonna be interesting to see. if somebody else can step up in that spot.
All right, I'm gonna put you on the spot one more time. Give me your not the best team. Give me your best OC in the SWAC and your best DC.
Um, right now, offensive coordinator, um, is it is it Coach Taylor at Alabama? That's um, I would go with that offense because they make the most use out of everybody. They use the backs out the backfield. They throw the ball around, and they do run the ball pretty well for what they do. Defensively, that's that's a good question. Um,
Hmm.
I, I I don't know right now. I'm a tap out. I can't think of anybody off the top defensively. That really I would single out. So I'm gonna tap out on that one. You got me on this one.
No, it's all good. I mean, that's why I asked. I say I go with offense. I go with David Marsh at TSU. I feel like he is pretty good for multiple seasons now at making the best out of what he has to work with down there. And because I guess that's kind of how I judge a coach. I could say A&M, but A&M had a kill glass. So can you once he's gone, can you take the next man up and replicate that, or is your offense going to trash because you don't have that quarterback?
Yeah, I can definitely see that. It's one of those things where that's gonna be a thing that we watch out for with this team. If their offense, they're obviously not gonna be as explosive as they were the last couple years, but I think if they can be somewhere in maybe a step or two below that, they can still be efficient. So maybe they lose a little bit with the passing game, but they pick up a little bit more with the run game. I think that's definitely a mark of a coach if you can kind of mold your system to the guys that you have. So
Right.
that that'll definitely be a test for them. So I definitely agree with that. TSU, their offense took a huge leap last year. A lot of people know Andrew Body, but they don't know Ladarius Owens. Man, that kid ran the ball like a monster last year. So you know their offense was pretty well.
I think they did pretty good either in the spring or 2019 as well. Looking at, I did a little research on him, and he had to use a couple quarterbacks one of those years, but they still produced some points. They might not have been the best team, but they would, he was able to move the ball and stuff. So I think he's doing pretty good down there. Defensively, it's kind of a tie. I'd say whoever I'm sure is they're gone now, but um, Coach Ely's DC at Alabama State, and with the job that Cedric Thornton has been able to do, I think those two have been pretty consistent. Bama State just they don't ever have an offense really, but their defense is typically solid.
Yeah, defensively, they one of those teams that are very physical defensively. You really can't run the ball on them consistently. The secondary is pretty strong, and they kind of don't have like the big names. They kind of go to work as a unit,
Mm-hmm.
and they really physical, man. I remember when Southern played them in the spring, that defense was really physical. Um, they hit you, they get after you, they get you in the backfield, and you're gonna have a hard time moving on them. Like I said, offensively, they just didn't nothing for the last 4 years. They just didn't have an offense. But just to go back to what you're saying about TSU, um, 2019 with DeAndre Johnson at quarterback, they had guys like Donnie Curley and Thurman Marbley at receiver. Dominic Franklin at running back. That offense was they were explosive offense. Like defensively, they could not stop nobody. So when you don't win any games, but you have an offense that could put up 30 points, that's
Yeah.
really crazy to me. But that's the mark of a good coaching staff. They got the most out of what they have. So I definitely keep my eyes on them for sure.
I think we got a what we got TSU this weekend, FAMU this weekend, Southern this weekend,
Alcorn and Valley.
Alcorn and Valley. So
And
it's a
TSU
big.
tomorrow.
Okay, is it gonna be aired anywhere?
I hadn't seen anything. I want to say FAMU game gonna be aired. Um, I want to say on the same app that Gremlins game was aired on, I believe. I need to double
Okay,
check that, but I
yeah.
I know I thought I saw that for sure. So I think that may be the only one that's aired. Hopefully something else can pop off. Maybe somebody could put something on the internet. Because I think people want to kind of keep an eye on these things, and I'm definitely just intrigued to see what happens. Especially at Southern, there's been some reports coming out. I mean, obviously you can only make so much out of practice reports, but the quarterback battle I think is going to go into the fall at Southern. Um, I don't really see anybody really taking hold of that job right now. So that's going to be a thing that people keep their eyes out on, especially down here. People tie themselves to the quarterback so much at Southern. So if don't nobody take hold, then regardless of how the team do, they're going to really be hard on the QB. But defensively, I'm interested to see if they can be physical, as physical as you can, in that kind of environment. But definitely want to be better on assignments because I thought Southern defense blew a ton of assignments. I thought a lot of plays that they missed, they were just not in the right position by a step or two and gave up a lot of big plays. So everybody, these are some very interesting spring games. Valley's game is at 11 in the morning, so I definitely had to get up early to see that one.
I'm ready. I can't wait. I'm waiting on the human jukebox and everything. They need to have everything going on.
Yeah, I mean they said they not charging anybody to bring their RVs to tailgate, so hopefully we get a good crowd. Got a baseball game also that afternoon against Prairie View, so should be a nice nice atmosphere on campus, and you know I think a lot of people gonna turn out to see what Southern bringing to the table, and I hope they have some good turnouts at every school. So I think building up this part of the year, with the junior days and everything, I think everybody's doing a better job of embracing this and making it an event. So hopefully that opens some eyes, and like I said, maybe you get some season ticket holders out of this, which ultimately helps the school a lot.
So, by you saying all that with baseball, football, all that game kicking off at 3 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
So, what time you need to be on campus?
Well, I for a environment like this weekend, I would say like you want to be like an hour and a half early or so. Um,
Okay.
it's not going to be that that hard to get on campus. And there's two ways to get on campus basically, but um, in the season you would have to be there really really early. But I would say like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. You just want to kind of take in everything. But you know, I don't think it's gonna be a packed house, obviously. So hour and a half would be good for you to get on campus and see some things.
Okay. I'll make sure I don't want to be too late around there.
Oh no, don't ever be late though.
Yeah.
Like, but you'll be, like I say, everything is right there together. So you'll be able to find ample parking for this kind of event. So like I said, I just hope they have a good turnout and we see what happens, man. I'm excited. This is this is the first spring game I've been looking forward to in a long time. I mean, it's the first one we had in like what 3 years. So this kind of reminds me of those days that when we didn't have any spring practice because of our APR issues back in the day. I don't know which side of the stadium they're gonna have open. If they're gonna have the east side or west side open. Um, if they have them both sides open, then I'm gonna be sitting on the west side. Um, that's the press box side. I like sitting on that side. So hopefully they keep the west side open and I can sit there. Um, I would love to sit in my seats. I sit in the end zone, so if they have the end zone open, I'm sitting in my seat. So
Well, man, that's all I had on my list.
all right. let's see. I guess one more thing I want to talk about. We ain't got to go too deep into it. I don't have any real numbers on it, but the HBCU All Star game was this weekend, was
Oh
Sunday.
yeah.
I heard it was a pretty good game. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I heard it was a pretty entertaining game. Bryson Grisham from TSU, man, he had a really good game. Um, had him a nice outing. I think he had a double double in that game, close to it. Um, I thought it was a really good event. I heard a lot of good things about it. I did hear a lot of people fussing that they didn't see it advertised, which I saw advertisements everywhere on social media. That is one thing I want to kind of talk about before we get out of here. Um, this perception that if you don't see something, that means it's not out there. You know, I think a lot of people love to say because they weren't aware of something that nobody was aware of it. I mean, the game was highly publicized. Same thing with the Legacy Bowl. You know, they advertised those games big time. You know, if they advertised it on on CBS and everything. So I thought they did a good job of advertising it. But you know, a lot of people feel like if you don't personally see something, then it's not a good it hasn't been publicized. But yeah, I thought I thought it was a good thing. I hope it continues to grow. And oh, let's see. This is a good topic.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna say I don't really want to be like, well, this happened, but LSU Pro Day was the same day, so I don't know if everybody felt like driving across campus, which is that can be taken as an excuse. I don't mean it that way, but I mean that's the reality. I mean obviously FAMU and FSU had their Pro Day the same day, but schools not that far apart. But I thought the numbers weren't crazy, but the guys that showed up, Southern did what they do. I think we have to be careful with looking for that 30 teams at everybody's school. You know, that's not going to happen everywhere. So it's one of those things that I kind of don't really make a huge deal out of it, but with what's been said, you kind of wish that the numbers would be there. But like Los J said, TSU had one person there, so you know it really doesn't really matter if you don't get anybody selected. So if you got one person there and they pick one of your guys, then that's really all you need, or they give one of you guys a shot. So we just got to kind of be careful with looking too much at the numbers. But yeah, I think maybe it should have had a different day. I mean, Southern had their pro day on Wednesday. LSU had their pro day on Wednesday. I think the Saints had a pro day for the four other FCS teams in the state, which they had that on Tuesday. So it was a lot, a lot going on. But the teams that showed up, hopefully they saw what they needed to see.
I'll say two things on that. I think honestly, I think it is about what the pros think about your guys. If they feel like you have ample amount of draftable guys, because like you said, they got to stretch themselves thin. They got to be a lot of places. There's only so many scouts, so I mean, what do they feel like you have on your campus? The other part of it is, I feel like a lot more schools, like FCS schools, need to do what they did at Jackson, or need to do what New Orleans did, the Saints did for those other schools. If you can bring more pro days together, and the teams only have to show up to one place, I think you get a better chance of getting your athletes seen versus trying to have them to come to every FCS school. That's just my opinion. I think if you do what Jackson State did and have all the small schools at one place, you get more people seen that way.
Yeah, I agree. The more the easier it is for people to get to and see more people, the better. Like like I said, you can't really get caught up too much in the numbers because schools like James Madison, who are FCS powers about to move up to FBS, they had like 20 people at their pro day. So you would think a program like that might get more, but whatever reason, scouts go where they go. So I think you kind of got to be more savvy in how you schedule things. Like you said, maybe put together with somebody else, and maybe you get more eyes on yourself. But like you said, it's also in the product that you have. You know, if you got one guy that everybody wants, then they're gonna see that one guy. Um, Everybody, if you got a bunch of other guys that aren't, you know, borderline guys, you know, there's no rush to see them. So it all comes down into who you have and what you have to see. So um, it's just one of those things that you kind of have to balance.
I'd be slick too. You look at just say Cole Kelly. Cole Kelly might have some scouts looking at him. Tyree Carter. So I'm trying to put them same guys in the same area, and if I'm, the rest of the guys, I want to do my combine. I mean, my pro day wherever they at, because they're gonna garner the most attention. So they're gonna draw the most scouts. So whoever your top FCS player is, and if the states, are aligned to where you can get to that pro day, that's where they should do it at.
Yeah,
You got
you
to
know,
take advantage of that.
and just using your example, man, Southeastern is like 45 minutes from Southern, so you know that's a hop and a skip. You know, you can put that together, or like you could do a regional thing. You know,
Yeah.
there's McNeese within 2 hours of Baton Rouge. Nickel State is like 90 minutes from Baton Rouge. You know, you got Tulane, ULL, Southern. All those
Yeah.
schools are all in that
Northwestern.
area.
Yeah.
You know, you can combine them and do it that way. But you know, like you said, it's all in how you manage it. You know, and it's about getting your eyes on those other guys because your top prospect, everybody knows who they are. They've seen
Mm-hmm.
them, especially if they've been to the actual combine. They've seen them. They know what they are. Um, it's the other guys that can benefit from that. So yeah, you want to, I don't think you need to get caught up in the numbers, but if you can increase the numbers, then yeah, that's a good thing. This comment was something that I kind of was like skirting around. I know you know, but
Yeah.
I thought he did not have the best time. Any of his numbers were very surprising to me, athletically because I thought I mean he's a good athlete. I don't know I me and you talk about that a lot off camera, so I don't really want to go too deep into it. But I definitely think, like we said before, he got some work ahead of him.
Yeah. I think, for one, I think his weight is up. I don't think he ever been this heavy. He started getting heavier towards the end of his Southern career. And two, I just think he could be one of those guys that's just a ball player. I mean, you can't. He has a lot that you can't measure. Put it like that. His heart and the way he plays the game, you can't measure that. So that's not me being biased because I'm all about giving everybody the same treatment. But I was hoping he could improve on what he did at the HBC Legacy Bowl, but it is what it is. And if you don't improve on those numbers, it's not helping your case. Just because I know you're a dog don't mean they're gonna look at you as a dog. So it's all about you and helping your own case.
Yeah, and like you said, he definitely was bigger this past season than I've seen him
Yeah.
be at all in his Southern career. I don't know. I think it was like 10 pounds, 15
Yeah.
pounds heavier,
Mm-hmm.
and he also, he battled injury throughout the beginning of the season. Later in the season, he had some other issues, but I don't think this year was his best year at
Mm-mm.
all. So, I don't know if the motivation might not fully be there, or like you say, he's just a guy that's a baller. On Saturdays, that he gonna do what he got to do as long as he on the field, and he gonna help your team win one way or the other. But this is not the best time for him this year for sure.
Yeah. So maybe he get a shot in Canada or whatever. It ain't over yet. We ain't went through the draft. We haven't been anywhere. So I'm gonna just refrain from making any of those comments. But I just hope he gets a shot to do something and makes the best of it.
Yeah, that's all I all I hope for is a guy to get his opportunity and make the best of it. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. A guy like Danny Johnson went undrafted. He worked and now you got him a nice little contract with Washington. The opportunity is there. It's not easy. I think a lot of people love to throw those stories out, but it's not. It's gonna take a lot of work and
Right.
dedication. You might fall a couple times, but if you're a dog, like we keep saying, if you're a dog, you're gonna find a way. So you just have to keep your nose to the grindstone and battle, and you're gonna have to constantly fight uphill. But it can be done. But it's not easy. But it can be done.
Right.
So I think that's about it, man. I think like I say, I think looking forward to these pro days coming up. So if anybody going to any of the pro days, man, y'all let us know how they looking. I'll try to keep tabs on what's going on at TSU. Let's see. Let's run through this one real quick.
Man, you got Glass, Carter, Bell,
Houston, and
look at Los J. Like
we got 10 more minutes. All right.
He in production, ain't he? He back there
I know.
supervisor.
Hey, you good for 10 more?
Who, me?
Yeah, you busy? Need to get out?
Nah, I'm straight.
Hey, let's stick with what the producer said. We got 10 more, so we're running for 10 more. We're running to 7. So we got Glass, Carter, Bell, Houston. Who would you put in that 5th spot?
That's a tough one because I kind of want to say I don't know if Keenan Forbes is actually draftable, but I think he may get a shot in the league from FAMU.
Yeah, I would say if I had to, hit that 5th guy can be, an outlier type of guy. So I would say him, Batter Joe from Texas Southern. Those are guys who are kind of that. They're not, they're not the top prospects like the other guys, but they do have some good skill sets. And if they find the right opportunity, if they interview well and test well, then I think that's a good opportunity for a guy like that to go. I hadn't heard too much about Corbin at all, really, this off season. So I like his size. He got size. He got pretty good hands as well. Obviously, he's a guy that has a lot of experience. So he can help somebody's unit. This is some. I guess they're doing more like I think this is they treating this more like a scrimmage,
like a public scrimmage.
Yeah, so just kind of like a public coming out type of scrimmage, and then they'll do their big production on the 24th. So they're trying to kind of get a bunch of other, get their hands in a bunch of other things, get more eyes on it, and maybe some people come out and then they want to come out again for the spring game. So a lot of people do have that, a last scrimmage, but it typically don't be open. So, it's a different thing. Going back to another one, Jordan Lewis from Southern, he put on some weight this spring. I know he put on a little bit of weight last year. He's still like, 225, 230. He's a light guy. So they're working on him. He battled injury last year. Had a hamstring injury and a shoulder injury. So if he could stay healthy and, he can, get back to putting up anywhere close to the numbers that he had, then I think he will, at least with his speed, he's going to have to be able, he kind of like a smaller James Houston type of guy. They're going to kind of have to show versatility, be able to maybe play a little bit of outside linebacker as well. So we'll keep an eye on what he do, but it's all about him staying healthy. This thing on Saturday is just a scrimmage. So it's not going to be a big production, but I think it's still something. If you can get there, I think it's something to keep your eyes out on.
To answer Joseph Hart, I really don't have a super order, but I say Carter would be the guy that I think is the most draftable. And then I think Bell after that. And then I'll say for that third spot, it'd be a tie between Houston and Glass. I don't think if Glass go, I think it's gonna be late. If he gets drafted, it's gonna be real late. I see it being 6 or 7 round. But I see Carter be getting up there a little bit, maybe 4th round, 3rd round.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see somebody come off in the second day, and maybe Carter and Bell come off in the second day. Houston, he's been doing a lot of visits, so maybe that's another guy. But anybody else going to be a third day guy, like you say, 6, 7 round. Glass, quarterbacks are tough. A lot of times people, he doesn't have the athleticism that you
Yeah.
really would like, but he does have, he's got smart, he got a pretty good arm. So if that can outweigh everything else, then I think somebody may take a shot. Somebody with a deep team that don't necessarily need a quarterback right away. Get him in there, let him learn, and go from there. But that's pretty much the order. I feel the same, so I don't think it's going to deviate too much from that. You got a breakout player for this coming season?
Man, he hit me with a hard one with only a couple minutes.
Late in the shot clock.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. There's somebody that's not already known, because I feel like Malachi Wideman should have a better year. He started coming on strong as of late, but I mean everybody kind of knows him already. Somebody's just coming out of the blue. I know you hoping it's Bubba.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, man. I the way you are with Skelton, that's me with Bubba. I mean, I
Yeah.
want the best for him, man. Ever since I first heard him at Southern, didn't know who he was, so I thought he was a kid that could get the job done. So yeah, I hope it's him, but I'm not quite sure. But if I had to pick, this is a guy who he played a lot last year, but a lot of people don't know his name, and that's Jaden Stewart, running back from Prairie View.
Yeah.
He's a big back, man. They had 3 or 4 backs that played at Prairie View last year, but he ran for 100 yards against A&M, and that was a very one-sided game. But he did get 100 yards in that game when they didn't have any other offense. So he's a guy I think who may get more carries this year. I expect him to really break out and be a good factor on their team. I expect, I don't think Southern done at quarterback. I think they're gonna still be looking. I think the spring is gonna stay a lot, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did dip into the portal, but it's not 100% certain that it'll happen.
Another person, Jalen Jones. We don't know what he's gonna do, but he could very well have a good season. I think he got some decent weapons over there, so we'll see. I hope he's gotten
Yeah,
better.
that's a team, kind of go with what we said before. Um, a team who I would love to see more from. And that's Bethune Cookman. They had a horrible season last year, not up to what they normally do. So Jalen Jones, they got Quayshawn Bird. So at running back, that'll help him out in the backfield. Another runner can open some things up for him. Hopefully, he developed as a passer a little bit more. But I definitely want to see what he does. And TSU got some nice pieces too, man. I think that's a team that really can be a dangerous team. They have 2 SWAC games early in the season. If they could win both of them, if they could beat Southern and Prairie View, then they're gonna really be in the thick of the race to start off.
Is that
Yeah, I
that
think.
kid? Go ahead.
Oh, you go first.
Now I was talking about that corner. Is that number 7?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
I know they've been pretty high on him. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think as far as Coach Dooley goes, I think nobody really just reached out and took it early. I think he was looking for somebody to. And when I say he was looking for somebody, I think he was looking for Bubba to kind of take charge since he's been there already. But I don't think nobody really reached out and grabbed it yet. So that's a battle that's gonna go into the fall and may not even be settled till the first game. I hope it is, because you really want to get your quarterback out the way. You don't really want to have a quarterback battle lingering. So hopefully somebody can take charge. But I don't think he's 100% sold on anybody at this moment.
We'll find out. Los J, do we have your permission to?
Yeah, we gotta check with the producer and see. I guess we good, man.
We got
We
about
didn't get
30
any word
seconds.
from the back, so we got about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. So man, we're gonna go ahead and get on up out of here, man. Y'all, like I said, if y'all going to any spring games, Make sure y'all check it out. If y'all in Baton Rouge, we both will be there. So if you see us, make sure you say hey. I dap you up. And I think we won't get that quarterback announcement. So we'll wait and see what happens in the fall. So hopefully both quarterbacks put on a decent show, and we can get a good outcome. So with that being said, man, we're gonna go ahead and get on up out of here. We enjoyed y'all, and we'll catch y'all next week.
All right, Los J, let us know. You and Thrillo, let us know how Body do next week. We're gonna be waiting on the report.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely hit Los J up. Hit him up tomorrow for sure,
Yeah.
and get the first hand report. So we'll share our thoughts on that, and we'll catch y'all next week.
All right.
All right.